chega eu quase sempre escapo. Quem me fornece é que ganha mais. A clientela é vasta, eu sei. Porque os remédios normais nem sempre amenizam a pressão. Amenizam a pressão. Amenizam a pressão.
The hour. It's like about that time. Morning, anyway. Morning, Misha. How you guys doing today?
Good, great. How are you, James? How are you, Misha?
Doing good. Misha, it's middle of the night for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. But it's never a bad time for town hall.
Always a good time in Web3. I guess technically it's 6 a.m. here, so it's dark. It's plenty dark out. Anyway, it's what, or like early evening for you?
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Not bad time.
Late in the day for a work day. I think that's Web3 in general, right? When you live all over the world, it's always a different time, and it's tough, I think, to find a time when everybody in the world can listen into something like this. We've got a ton of people listening already. Thank you all for being here. Before we get started, I guess we should give the regular, not financial advice disclosures that we always do. I think that's important to mention that certainly we'll be talking about things here as part of this more Discord AMA that have to do with buying things and selling things and trading things. And we definitely don't want to have anything that any of us say up here on stage or any of the answers we give to questions be considered financial advice. But hopefully you guys pick up something out of this for increased enjoyment and maybe stuff that can benefit you in collecting. Is that fair?
Yes.
I like it. Yep. As we're going through, we also have the ability to be watching chat. So anybody right now that is listening in live on Discord, up there in the corner of the Discord window, there is a chat box. If you click on that chat box and bring it up, you'll have an ability to ask questions live during the course of the Discord AMA. We will be pulling in some of those questions, answering them here live during the AMA. And who knows, maybe you even have an opportunity to win some rewards for getting some good questions in. So I would definitely encourage that. And makes it fun to play along at home. You ready? Do this thing. About October events. We're here at the end of October. We're nearing Halloween. I guess you're nearing Halloween a lot more than we are at Tenue. How much is Halloween celebrated in Australia? Is that a big event over there?
Yeah, it is. Like I went on the street, like people absolutely go crazy, especially in the city center. Like I live in a quiet neighborhood, but I went to city center yesterday. It was people just wearing all different types of fun costumes and shouting. Probably they were drunk or what, but it's pretty good atmosphere. I already feel that.
Does everybody decorate their homes for kids to go door to door? Does everybody decorate their homes with Halloween decorations for kids to go door to door and get things?
Actually, not so much. I think it's all a bunch of young people dressing up and party. It's more like that vibe. Yeah. What about you guys? Do you feel
Here in the
over
States, I think it depends on where you live. If you live in the suburbs, you definitely have neighborhoods where all the houses decorate up with Halloween decorations. And all the kids go out that night, go door to door to the houses that are lit up to get candy. And in the cities and the rural areas, it's probably a much different vibe. There's much more like Halloween parties and get-togethers and an opportunity to wear scandalous costumes and have fun at the bars and restaurants and clubs and do some craziness. How about for you, Misha? Was Halloween a big one growing up as a kid?
So it wasn't really a big one, but I was growing up. But since I moved to the US, I feel like it's just going on me. And I usually go for a run in this area where with a lot of bars and clubs and stuff. And Friday and Saturday evening was absolutely massive. I feel like so many people dressing up and just having fun. Yeah, I feel like this time it's just, I don't know what, but so many people.
Nice. Very nice. Well, in the theme of events, current events, October events, and upcoming events, I certainly have seen many events surrounding Halloween coming on with Moore and with Steppen, right? We got the drip thing with Spooky Heroes that came out. We've got the current GNT event with Halloween-themed Moriartys. There's the one that started on the 28th of October. I think that's in two parts, right? The first 2 days are Skeleton and Werewolf. And And then there's an announcement for the second 2 days. It'll be coming out in Discord probably a couple hours from now, right, Misha? Next few hours? I think that's right. Was that like a 10,000 GMT prize for that one? That one's
Yeah, I
pretty
think
cool.
we'll announce it in 2 hours. Yes, yeah, right. It's gonna be in the GMT contest channel, and we're gonna have 2,500 GMT raffled every day for the next 2 days. So it's a pretty exciting opportunity to try GMT, create some fun stuff, and win GMT.
Very nice. Very nice. Yep. 10,000 GMT prize for that one, right?
Yeah, for the whole event, for the 4-day event, yes.
Very nice. Yeah. What do you think of the Steppen sneakers for that Halloween event, Misha? They're pretty badass, aren't they?
Oh, that they're absolutely insane. I that's such a shame that I didn't get one yet. But the one that I like the most is like with all those tentacles, like Tohu or something. That one is absolutely amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Do you know that word, Cthulhu? Is that one that even registers with you?
Yeah, it's like I've seen somewhere in games, but I'm not that familiar. It's something like it's not that sure what it is actually.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that word, and I knew how to pronounce it, but I don't know if it was from like an old Scooby-Doo episode or who knows where, right? Some sci-fi something. How about you, Tenue? You ever heard of Cthulhu before? Spelled wild.
Not so much for me. I think probably like grew up in Asia. It's a little bit different of references. Yeah.
Chat saying it's from Lovecraft. Cthulhu is from Lovecraft.
Mm.
Very nice. Stephen King's Master. Nice exotic. Very nice. Very cool. Cool. Let's run through these more October events that we had going on with within the community. We certainly had the Wizardry Raffle meant to set off the beginning of the month. This was a big project, right, that we thought would have a potential to really grab the attention of our community. Much bigger audience in Japan. It certainly has in other parts of the world. This was the first rafflement that we did that took place on multiple blockchains, on Polygon, Solana, and Ethereum all at the same time. And that was kind of a different way to attack a rafflement for us that we'd not tried in the past. This was like October 3rd to the 7th, I think. 3,150 GMT a ticket, so it's a pretty big amount. We did something a little different with the AMAs for Wizardry as well, where we did an English AMA and a Japanese AMA to be able to engage both those audiences. Got all those NFTs out and tons of Twitter impressions. What'd you think, Tenue, from a technical standpoint? Do you like the idea of doing rafflements on multiple blockchains simultaneously to be able to engage those communities that are in multiple places? How did that work out on the functional side?
Yeah, definitely. I think every events and even the future features that we're all targeting on, like as much as possible, launched on all chains. As Jan always said, we're doing a layer one token for GMT, right? So that's what we're aiming for, and we're trying to kind of making people less aware, like from a user experience perspective. We want users to be less aware of like distinguishing between like tokens on each chains, because that's a little bit more technical for if a lot of new users are going into an NFT marketplace, right?
Absolutely. So you use the buzz phrase layer one like token for GMT. So if you were to put that in the context of rafflements and taking a rafflement that normally happens on one blockchain and happening on multiple blockchains at the same time, should we coin some kind of a new term of like a multi-chain rafflement? Would that be the opposite of layer one? Would that be like a layer three where you get 3 blockchains at the same time, or what would you call it? If you were to make up a word, what would you call it anyway?
I don't know. What do you call it?
Simulchain.
Simulchain. Yeah.
I like it.
Whichever wallet you have it, GMT, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think it's going to be really interesting going forward. You know, as you look at the FSL ecosystem. Certainly, we started on Solana, and we have a lot of community members on Solana. Then we expanded with Steppen for our second realm to BNB. Then certainly we have the ape realm on Ethereum. Now we have Moors across multiple blockchains. We've recently added Polygon. We've got Gas Hero coming on strong into the FSL ecosystem, and certainly a lot happening with Polygon there. It'd be fun to kind of see over time how these multiple chains that all have GMT on them interact with each other, and how that affects Moor and what we do with this launchpad, this marketplace, this AI tool, how Gas Hero really impacts Moor going forward. We can talk about that a little bit more later in the AMA. What do you think in general? Do you foresee, Tenuwe, that we add 3, 4, 5 more blockchains over time to Moor? Do you think the blockchains fade in the background and we just trade all blockchains on Moor? I mean, do you have a vision for that, or is it just take it as it comes, depending on where the market has the greatest demand?
I think we are adding chains gradually, but also like depending on the market demand, right? So we launched Gas Hero on Polygon, then definitely like there's going to be a big trading volumes on Moor with Gas Hero assets, and then on Polygon chain. So we really want to make people, just like using GMT on any chains. So cross chain, so GMT will be like a universal token for cross chains for all our ecosystem. And just as I said, like we support like different multiple wallets connected to one site, connected under one account. And in the future, we will support also, like right now we have all the wallets kind of fixed attached to your account, but in the future we will support certain times of switching wallets within a period of time. Within half a year, you can change like 2-3 times if you made a mistake or what. So just trying to gradually make it more and more convenient, and gradually making people like not so sensitive or aware of where they spend, like which chain, kind of like don't want to stuck in, like you don't have token in these chains wallet and then you cannot buy this. Like switching account is not a good experience.
Yeah, it becomes a customer service issue, right? Because you have certainly those customers that want to try to abuse the system, and they build 100 different wallets, and they would love be able to flip-flop back and forth between those 100 different wallets and have them all get access to their one VIP account. That way they get additional GMT credits and additional, rate ups when it comes to raffle mints and whatever other benefits we build around that whole VIP program that who knows, could have some big changes coming soon, hint, hint. And
the user level, right? The user level going to be big.
Yeah, huge. And so, you certainly want to prevent the cheaters, but at the same time, there are plenty of regular community members who, for whatever reason, start with one wallet on any of these blockchains and then want to swap to a different wallet. And right now, you almost have to open a customer service ticket to have access to swap those. And we limit how often people can do that in order to avoid anyone abusing the system. But I feel like as we move closer and closer to mass adoption with Web3 and any kind of a Web3 platform, including Moor, that, as new users are coming in that come from Step and come from Gas Hero, come for Moor's Launchpad or the GNT art creation tool, whatever it is, like the more complicated it is for them to figure out, well, what wallet do I have connected? And I got the wrong wallet and that wallet got hacked and I need to switch, or I've got GMT on the wrong blockchain. How do I move it to a different blockchain? All that complicates it, makes it less user friendly, right? And so the more we can get that stuff to fade in the background to become easier, certainly the better it is for adoption, right?
Definitely. Totally agree on that.
Very nice. Cool. Moving on. October events. Let me see. We had our final weeks of Gas Hero Phase 3 design competitions using GNT. For those that were not aware, or just to remind everybody, we had 120,000 GMT that was given out with these GNT Gas Hero Phase 3 design competitions. Week 12 was the final week. We gave out another 10,000 GMT to 4 winners with that. There's been a ton of stuff with Gas Hero that's tied in, a lot more certainly to come, but that was pretty cool. So thanks everybody that participated, that joined in. We appreciate all the feedback you're giving us on GNT. We were definitely happy to be giving out all that GMT, and you're going to see a lot more that has to do with Gas Hero and more to come, without a doubt. Fairmint workshops setting up in Discord. Misha, you've been doing these. There was one, on the 20th? another one on the 27th. I tuned in and listened to the one with Anastasia and Armandi, and they did a really good job, like digging into GNT, using the like ChatGPT type large language models to help create prompts, and then dragging that prompt into GNT to create art. Use that art and play around with different attributes and create entire collections from it and submit it. And Armandi went through a bunch of stuff with that. What were some key takeaways you had, Misha, about the Fairmint workshops? What'd you think?
I think it went well, and the first time and the second time, and the second time we almost had like twice as many people watching. And I think that approach that we took with Armandi teaching Anastasia as a beginner, with all the questions popping up in the process, I think that approach worked really well and helped other people in the same shoes, just beginners, to learn more about GNT, about Fairmint process, about creating NFTs, things like that. And we'll continue doing that this Friday as well. So this time we're going to have Exotic join us as well. We're going to focusing on how to create a PFP using GNT tools. So I think it's going to be great. And we're also planning to actually stream it on Twitter and on YouTube, just to make it more accessible. Ooh. And and make it more fun for people on all social media. Yeah.
Very nice. That's definitely something that that FSL has started doing with the Steppen town halls. Certainly with these MOOAR AMAs, we've kept the Discord because we feel like the MOOAR community is a little bit different. But with these Fairmint workshops, that gives you an opportunity to really expand the footprint, right? Have that video out there of how you're using GNT, get it onto x.com in addition to in Discord. You're going to be setting that up and running that, Misha?
Yes, yeah, I'll be setting it up. Lucas created this for Steppen, and I'll be kind of like learning from him how to create this for more. And this live chat that's available on YouTube, on Discord. I think that's a really cool asset, and people really enjoy that. So we'll try to bring the whole MOOAR community into this event. For sure.
Very nice. For those listening, I don't know that we've formally introduced Misha to the community as a part of one of these AMAs yet, Tenue. We've kind of discussed Misha's role and what he's been doing in the MOOAR Discord server with the MOOAR community, helping out on the back end with Fairmint, with the creator launchpad and on all the different stuff. Certainly these workshops are a big part of what you've been doing as well. Almost a community manager in a lot of ways, right, Misha, with what you're doing on all the MOOAR stuff?
Yeah, definitely. And we got also some of the requests from creators to learn more about marketing, so we'll be doing that as well. And also improving some of the customer service kind of like workflow, so all the people that kind of like use MOOAR, they'll be able to get help faster and more efficiently resolving those issues. Yeah.
Very cool. And helping out on product too, right? Making everything that happens on the MOOAR website more effective and giving us that community feedback back up through the product team, so that way we can get it developed. There's a ton of changes coming to MOOAR, some of which we can tease, not too much that we can go into much detail about, but we can definitely dig into that a little bit later. What I'd love to say, at least for this little piece, is for those that have suggestions of, let's say, a Fairmint workshop that you'd love to see done in the future, changes you'd love to see made to the MOOAR Discord server, changes to Fairmint, changes to the website, any of that stuff, Misha is a great place to go to provide some of that feedback, in addition to our ambassadors or any of us. So if you guys have any suggestions about things you'd love to see in the MOOAR Discord server, or Fairmint workshops you'd like to see in the future, any of that stuff, make sure you let Misha know, because he can definitely make that happen.
Yeah, definitely. You can tag me on Discord, or actually you can also shoot an email to support@moor.com, and we'll get that as well.
Perfect. Very nice. What workshops do you kind of have in mind for the next few months? Do you have a certain direction that you want to take these? GNT certainly is a big piece. I'm sure with some of the updates and changes coming to MOOAR over the next few months, that some things will tie into those specific things that we can't really announce yet. But do you have ideas in mind, things you want to play with?
Yeah, so for now we are just gonna keep it towards Fairmint, towards creating NFTs, and towards maybe some beginner stuff for people who just started trading on MOOAR. Maybe something about going cross chain, something about trading GMT between chains and figuring out how to do it. So some of the basic things that some people might have issues with. We just want to cover that.
Perfect. Very, very nice.
Perfect.
Nice.
Can we have like a video stored somewhere? Because I think we should also on the product side making a FAQ or sort of tutorial page or something if we have like some good content that we want to like have a video link or something that we can gather all those resources that you provide.
Ooh, I like that idea. What do you think,
Yeah,
Misha?
definitely.
You're recording these experiment workshops and putting them up on X, having them in the Discord as well. Maybe having a recording that links back to the website, so those on the website could find these links. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's why actually we made the decision to stream it to YouTube and Twitter, so we have those recordings available. Because when we record on Discord, there's like so many different issues. So I feel like just streaming to Twitter and YouTube will eliminate all those issues. Will make it accessible, and as Chen said, we'll be able to share it with everyone.
Nice, very nice. That should work good. As we crank through the rest of the events that we did in the month of October here with Moore, the floor rafflement was definitely another big one. I think that started like the 18th, went through about the 21st. That had a very low raffle entry price, so I think only 1 GMT to participate, which is a little different than we've done in the past. We even looked at the possibility of doing potentially free rafflements, and I think we're leaning towards there always being at least some kind of a token fee, either a percentage of a GMT or 1 GMT. What's your gut on that, Tenue? Do you think it makes sense to have potentially free rafflements, or do you think it always makes sense to have at least 1 GMT per ticket?
I think like 1 GMT is sort of like, a ticket's not necessarily means certain amount of money, but it's kind of like a ticket for a person as a part of FSL community, But yeah, we are also open for like completely free raffle in the future. But I like this concept, like have 1 GMT just for your I don't know, community identity stuff. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't mind the raffle tickets costing even a significant amount of GMT, because we do something a little different with our raffles, for those not aware, than any other platform I've ever seen, where if you win with our rafflement, you end up winning oftentimes not just a single NFT, but a single NFT plus maybe a bunch of other stuff that goes along with it. And if you don't win, your raffle is automatically carried over usually to the next day of the event. And most of these rafflements are usually multi-day events. And if you don't win on any of the days, you get all of your GMT refunded back to you. And then you can either keep it within the rafflement system and apply it to future rafflements, or pull that GMT back out. So I think when it comes to doing free giveaways, oftentimes you get these farmers that will create hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of wallets and end up trying to farm all the stuff and almost devaluing the prizes and taking some of the prizes away from the regular community. So I think charging GMT and then giving it back if you don't win might be a better play than making them completely free. But I'm glad we're open to at least thinking through these ideas of adjusting the cost of the GMT for the different types of rafflements, and maybe even looking at free ones and seeing how that plays out. Certainly with projects like Drip that we had a great collaboration with, they run on a free model. They just added droplets to their website. You engage on the Drip website, you can kind of earn these droplets that are still free to earn, and then you can use those droplets to subscribe to different collections in order to get the drops over the course of the next week. I think that's kind of a fun in-between model, right? Where you're still trying to figure out who are real people, who's engaging on the website, who's coming daily and participating, getting a free droplet, and then subscribing with a free droplet. Who knows? Maybe we can come up with something like that similar on Moore, where it's not necessarily a free rafflement, but it's a engagement rafflement. That might be fun too, huh?
Yeah, totally. And I think like for all the Web3 products, like it's hard to absolutely prevent that one person register for like hundreds of wallets, because all of those are decentralized, and that's the nature of our community, right? But yeah, definitely. On one hand, it's going to be harming some other regular users if farmers especially doing those things. But yeah, I think that's just part of the nature, and we're trying to avoid it. We can avoid it by significantly lowering the enterprise to make it more fair to most of the users. Yeah, and I think actually our, as you mentioned, like we always, our raffle always give the the GMT back. So actually not technically not a raffle, right? It's more like a fair auction. We can say it like like fair mint and fair auction. So yeah, it's very different from like raffles from other platforms.
Yeah, I wonder what that would work like. Like if you were to take a given week's fair mint. Let's say I was going to give out a bunch of Genesis sneakers for something, right? And I were to collaborate with another brand, and it would be that brand mixed with Step and Genesis sneakers. What if it were to be an auction instead of raffle tickets, where the first person puts in 1 GMT, and then the next person puts in 2 GMT, and then whatever the highest number is, maybe the highest 10 numbers, the highest 100 numbers wins? Would that be a fun way to do the system, or would that completely break it?
I think that's a fun way. That's more like close to, the traditional auction. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong.
Funded, right? If you're not in the top 10, that might be kind of fun. Be interesting.
Yeah. But like when I mentioned fair auction, it feels like we are not in favor of, a specific user that has tons, like millions of GMT, right? So we're doing it very fair. Like everybody is beating or like giving the price of the same price, same entry ticket price, and everybody pays the same. It's more like just a matter of chance who is getting the final thing. But it's an auction in a sense that if you don't get the NFT, you get your money back. So I think that's what I mean by fair auction. But I think the model that you brought up is also very interesting, and it potentially like have more gamified experience or gamification, sorry, not GameFi, but gamification experience in it. A lot of potential. We can all think about that. Yeah, we are a fun platform. Just want to make like different mechanics or different products to make the experience funnier, like than a normal trading or normal. Yeah.
I know in the past we had on one of the blockchains on Moor the ability to put individual NFTs up for auction instead of a more traditional listing. I don't think that's active anymore, right? I don't even know if it was used a whole lot, but I like the idea of trying to find these gamified ways to make a launchpad, a trading platform, more fun and engaging. And I know in my conversations with you and seeing what you're building with the development team, that's a big direction over the next couple months of the things that you have planned to come out is how do you gamify a launchpad? How do you gamify a trading platform? How do you make this a fun place to hang out and engage and feel rewarded, correct?
Yeah, that's our vision or like final goal. I mean, like we're doing a lot of things to experiment. I don't necessarily like the word experiment, but yeah, we're testing with a lot of different ideas, and I think like in the end, alternately, we want to aim for a fun experience because we are a company starting with making games, right? So our platforms should also have that vibe.
Makes perfect sense, and I don't hate the word experiment. Like I think about my favorite games and my favorite gamified experiences, and it almost feels like if you want them to last for years and years, having a more seasonal type model where the developers can go in and experiment with something and have like a reward system, have one thing for a couple months, and then maybe for a couple weeks it changes to something else, and you get to kind of test out and experiment with some different things and keep it fresh and move things around. That certainly keeps it fresh. I don't want to say too much, but we certainly could be thinking about the ability to experiment and move things up and change things around kind of consistently over time, correct?
Yeah, definitely. Like I definitely agree that what you're saying, making things seasonal, we can sort of changing a little bit like of different ways of playing or engaging with the platform, and doing things by season. I think that's a great idea.
Very cool. couple more events we did in October. We've got some upcoming ones we want to mention as well. The last big raffle event we had for the month was VFX Freak. This was a one-of-one artist that actually makes this 3D art that was really cool. I know a bunch of our ambassadors came together and did a big X space. I guess it's called an X space now, where they actually talked to the VFX Freak artist and talked about these 10 one-of-ones. This raffle went from the 16th of October through the 18th of October. It had these 10 unique NFTs. I think there was a bonus NFT that went out as well. 500 GMT on Solana, I think, were these entries. And I think it was our first real push into this one-of-one type art. What's your gut feel when you look at like the other marketplaces and the other launch pads that are out there and what's going on in the ecosystem? Certainly, I know you're big on like building this platform for creators and creating creator space and giving an opportunity for creators to communicate directly with their community. I would think one-of-one artists would be a really good niche where we could really accelerate with more. I think.
Yeah, I do think so because one-on-one artist is more like traditional type of artist, right? So a lot of people, talented people, they can create art, they can create like beautiful assets and concept. Maybe not in a way like a typical sense, because right now all the NFT space is dominated, sort of dominated by PFP, right? But I think one-on-one art is is more like open to all type of creative people that not necessarily good at building quote unquote PFP collection, but they have a lot of energy to make and to create. So definitely it's a good direction.
Very nice. We also have Finding Satoshi, which is our drip weekly drop that happens every Friday. It also ties into our Zeely quest board, the Finding Satoshi Zeely quest board. Had 4 drops this month. Drop number 9 was the FSL Unity drop. This one was really cool. We asked all of our community members to submit their profile photo, their PFPs, and we created this entire collage, this FSL collage. And so we only had 1 image for that drop. Normally we have 3 to 6 images with different rarities. That was a unique one. Drop number 10 was the Drip Syncing Beats drop. This really highlighted the Apple Music integration with Steppen. So we use that as our theme for week 10. Drop number 11 was the Capybara a drip drop through Finding Satoshi. So we certainly had that as our answer to our puzzle with Steppen and Gas Hero to celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival, and we tied in there. And then drop number 12 that just happened a couple days ago, our Drip Spooky Heroes with community picks as well. I love how Finding Satoshi with the Zeely quest board, with these weekly drip drops, with the more community and the more Discord server, oftentimes really highlighting GNT, has an ability to really push all the different projects within FSL and all the different communities that kind of come together within FSL. This has been a fun way to really highlight what GNT does. What do you think, Tenue? Is this something that you've kind of dug into collecting? We mentioned Drip earlier and what they're doing with droplets. If we're getting, this week 12, this most recent week we just did, over 2,500 entries came in, right? So that's 2,500 people that used GNT to create a Drip Spooky Hero, right? Many of which I'm sure we're trying out GNT for the very first time to see what it does. And then taking that art, picking out, some fun ones, and then taking it and distributing it out to an audience over 100,000 wallets, get our weekly drip drops. That's a really fun way to engage our community with GNT and kind of showcase what that tool does, right, to create art.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I remember there was like one, did we do one like GNT events or drip events with the collage, or is not the drip event? But I think in general, it's I like the idea that creators are, collaborating, using one tools and making something together over the time. And also, like, I like the idea that dropping things to the community, because I think that's the one of the best way to engage everyone and sending out surprises.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't say too much, but as we start rolling into upcoming events, certainly we want to talk about the Halloween event that's going on a little bit more right now with GNT and more. We have other things that are coming up, a couple big raffle mints coming that I'm really excited about that we can tease here in a few minutes. I definitely want to talk and tease a little bit about Drip and maybe potential things coming to Drip. But before I dig into too much of that, just to remind everybody, if you're listening live right now on Discord, there is a Discord chat open there. Click on that little chat icon, type your questions in chat. We're going to be getting to audience questions next and going through community questions. We might even have some rewards to give out to those that ask the best questions and we get to answer. We also have mentioning finding Satoshi in the Zeely quest. We got a quest password that will be given out here in a little while. So for those that are fighting to be at the top of the leaderboard within our Finding Satoshi Zeely quest board, that password will definitely be useful to you. We'll get that out here in a little while. That team has done such a phenomenal job engaging the community. We just mentioned that this most recent drop had over 2,500 entries. I can tell you they went through and they went through every single one of those entries, and there was a lot of hours that our ambassadors put in. So shout out to Sue and to the entire ambassador team, Tatiana and Silo Silv and everybody that contributes there on Finding Satoshi with the Zeely quest board. It's a lot of effort, but it absolutely is so worth what I see when it comes to community engagement. Looking forward for Drip in the future, we certainly have these weekly drops that are going to continue to happen on the Finding Satoshi Drip page. We also have the ability to potentially participate in future seasons of their showcase. So for those that are not familiar, Drip on Wednesdays does their showcase collection. We had a massive showcase drop in season 2. They're getting ready to start their season 3. You might want to keep your eyes open to see what's coming in season 3. I think you guys will be really excited about season 3 of Drip, and then certainly all the Friday Finding Satoshi weekly drops would be a good one to pay attention to as well. A lot of cool stuff coming out with that. Other future events, we got the Halloween event going on right now. You definitely want to pay attention to Discord over the next few hours. We'll have the next 2 days of the GNT Halloween Moriarty event going on, so pay attention to that. We'll also have a couple of these big raffle mints coming up, and I think one of them could be, what can we say, Tenue? One of them could be maybe messaged out on x.com in the next few hours. Something really big coming to raffle mint. Is that saying too much?
Musician or, I don't know, Asian Jesus? I think that's pretty obvious, right? Asian Jesus.
Wow, yeah. You actually said more than I expected you to say. Very nice. We got that, and then another big one immediately on the heels of that. It could be something tied to a big game, but I think both will be a lot of fun. Both have certainly things within them that I think everyone's going to want to collect. I would pay really close attention over the next several days to the MOOAR Discord server, the MOOAR official X account, the Steppen official X account, and be looking for events coming over the last few days of the month and very beginning of next month. Because there's some big stuff coming that I think you're definitely going to want to have a piece of. I know I want to have a piece of all these, which is pretty cool.
Same.
We also have these MOOAR interviews with creators that have been going on. These have really ramped up on X, where we've got many of our different creators that have been given these interviews. I think 20 different creators, 20 different collections have done interviews so far. So that's definitely something to look to as well, which I think is pretty cool. What do you have that you're looking forward to, Tenue or Misha, for upcoming events? Is there anything in particular? Without saying too much, we can't announce too much. What are you guys most looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward. I know we have been talking with another sort of game collection or game-related collection, right, for a long time. Definitely
Absolutely.
Looking forward to that. That's a big one.
Me too.
I think it can be even bigger than Aoki, right? But Aoki is definitely also huge. I actually like personally, I like the events much more for the upcoming compared to the last month. That's my personal personal favor, personal opinion. But
Yeah.
Misha,
Well,
what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm excited about more updates to like VIP memberships. So yeah, I guess I'm looking forward to that. More new stuff for that.
absolutely. Yeah. I think we've definitely hinted and teased a little bit about the reward systems for more, membership system for more, even a little bit about the more VIP program potentially changing and getting upgraded, right? And coming out with something new. I don't know that we're ready to fully announce any definite details about any of those three, but definitely all three things are coming very, very quick. What do you think in general, Tenue, when it looks at like reward systems and what we've done in the past with that Drip collaboration, having those boxes where everybody could get the NFT on Drip and bring it and connect their wallet to more and get access to those Drip boxes and open up and find things. Do you think that if we're building a reward system that has stuff, that's a model we might want to play off of and use something similar?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really good model because we tested that and it seems very engaging with the community, and especially the mystery, the drip boxes. You open it up, have like different possibilities, so we can really play with it. I mean, like, it's because as we talked about earlier, more is our goal is to make trading and making NFTs all like a fun experience. So we really want to make something that is a little bit gamification in it and giving out surprises to people. And we are actually planning like a huge reward system, a huge give out. I think this one is not a collaboration. It's just from more ourselves, and I would say it's the biggest giving out on more across the whole history of this website, and potentially giving out blue chip NFTs or like the Steppen or Gas Hero NFTs from our ecosystem. Yes, definitely going to be huge. Yeah,
Very
I don't know.
nice. When you look around ecosystem, right, and you look at other platforms, certainly OpenSea, Blur, Magic Eden, Tensor. There's so many other trading platforms out there, marketplaces out there, launch pads out there, and some of them have built in some of these reward type systems, right? That can earn you higher membership levels, and with that, maybe you can earn NFTs, you can earn cryptocurrency, and you can have that kind of system built in that really drives liquidity and can build a platform. We know Gas Hero is going to drive a lot of liquidity to Moor. When you look at what's trading most commonly on Moor right now, certainly the Gas Hero collections are way up there. I think on the Polygon blockchain, Gas Hero, the coupon NFTs are the number one most traded collection on Moor. The Gas Hero badges, the number two most traded collection on Moor. Forecast forward some of this other stuff that's going to be coming out with Gas Hero and how it's going to work. I mean, who knows? Gas Hero could be the number one traded collection on all of Polygon. It might even have more volume than everything else on Polygon combined, right? We don't even know what potential that thing has. I'm so excited for what it could be. As you think about that and you think about these reward systems and what other platforms have done, like what are your key takeaways? Do you like some things from some platforms and then other things from other platforms? Or you think that the whole system that's been done in the past, it makes more sense to do something completely different?
Yeah, I think this question we can answer it from different angles. Like first thing is like talking about Blur and other platforms all had like big giveaways in the past, and I think their giveaways kind of like calculating points and like during a period of time, and people engage with the platforms in certain ways, and then calculate the periodical points, and then at the end of the period or at the end of the season they give out rewards. And I think we are, if we're going to build something that giving out gifts, which we are making and planning with a huge reward system, and we will do something differently. We will do something like less calculative. It definitely will be some strategy involved in it, but it's definitely like not a pure calculation game. And but we want to do it in a fun way, in a gamified way. And I think that's the main difference. And we probably don't want to, kind of calculating points over a period of time and then give out the gifts. We probably like giving things instantly. That's all on discussion, and that's all we are planning. And that's the first part. And the second part, when you're talking about, Gas Hero as a game, I'm personally really excited because I'm testing with the team actively right now. But so we talk about these projects will have like huge volumes, and what does it mean to Moor? I think the second that will be like a second vision for Moor is that because the first marketplace we designed is the Steppen marketplace, and then we design more and more. It's going to be infrastructure, right, for potentially many games for FSL. So I think it's actually very special to design a trading platform for those GameFi app versus like PFP apps. So I think another vision for Moor is that potentially we will be the platform or infrastructure for a lot of GameFi projects, because we are very specialized designing both backend and front end experiences for those games. So
Sure. I mean, when I think about Web3 games and I think about platforms built into Web3 games and kind of what's best in class, and you look out there at all the Web3 games and you look at the marketplaces built into them, certainly I would think the Steppen in-app marketplace that runs on multiple blockchains and runs so smoothly within the app, right? At times was pulled out of the app and pulled back into the app. We even have the ability now on Apple devices to link in your Apple Pay and like have access to that marketplace, with fiat currency from Apple Pay by buying Spark in a way that's very unique in the ecosystem. And then also building a website around that with m.steppen.com, and then what we're doing with Moor. I would think probably only Axie Infinity even rivals what FSL's done as far as building these in-app, in-website marketplaces for a game. If we have all of that experience, and we're clearly building something, that takes all those learnings with Gas Hero, that I think we've pretty thoroughly hinted that in some way will tie into Moor. Take that model, and then you start looking at other games in the ecosystem, and if you can take that best in class ability to build an in-app, in-website marketplace, and tie it into Moor across not just Steppen and Gas Hero, but then with other gamified projects as well. And then build on top of that a gamification system where, as you're trading these assets for various games, you're also have a gamified way to rewards, right? Yeah. I mean, that's two big pieces of alpha that could potentially be coming over the next few months, which I'm excited to hear more about. Very cool. Very cool. Giveaways. I know we got a couple giveaways tied to this AMA. I think we got 1,000 GMT prize pool, 500 GMT for those that have tweeted and tuned in live. I think that gets picked randomly. And then I think we have 100 GMT going out to 5 live questions. Just a reminder again, those that are listening right now live in Discord, there is a chat along with on the right. We've got some friends that have been pooling audience questions. You ready to dig into those, Tenue?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. First one I see on the list comes from Coinbake. Coinbake20 asks, the prompt to create an NFT for GNT is now currently 512 characters, 512 letters. Sometimes that's inefficient. And Coinbake is wanting to know, are we thinking of like increasing the amount of characters that we could put in an NFT prompt when we're creating images for GNT?
Yeah, I mean, like when we're beginning to starting to design in GNT, it is aimed for like a very short prompt, very simple prompt to create something that has a feeling of NFT. Because like we are not competing with like other, let's say, we're not competing with like image quality with Midjourney or so. We're doing more like easy way to create NFT image. But yeah, if we later on we find our creators would like to enter more longer prompts with more professional or like complicated, sophisticated prompts, we can definitely like increasing it. But it goes back to like maybe like how many people are requesting it, because we definitely has a lot of things on a long list on our dev roadmap. But yeah, if whoever get these like things that in your mind you want to increasing it, please reach out to our team, reach out to Misha, reach out to the customer service. If we see a lot of people having the same request, we're definitely going to put it on the top of the priority.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like GNT as an AI art creation tool where you can then take and instantly mint an NFT, or even use that same AI tool to take, a group of images and then create an entire collection where the AI can fill out, up to 1,000 different NFTs. It had multiple different versions that came out kind of rapidly, and now it kind of feels like our development team is more focused on some other things. Certainly we went from having multiple different prompts within GNT to then having one big prompt that the Coinbank's point is 512 characters. To me, it felt a little easier to have one prompt box instead of multiple prompt boxes, because I was always having to like experiment of what if I put certain things in the first box versus the second versus the third, and like how you make that work. What's your vision for GNT going forward? This kind of falls into our second audience question coming from SAO 9075. SAO wants to know, is there any plan to make GNT more mobile friendly, where we can, create this GNT art on our cell phones while we're using STEPN, going out and doing an earning session? Like what's your vision? Certainly, we've hinted at reward systems and gas hero trading and gamified trading experiences and Launchpad and other GameFi type projects and stuff that the development team's working hard on with more the membership program, all that stuff. Is GNT something in kind of that long distance roadmap where you've got version 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of in mind, and is having it a mobile friendly version high on that list?
Yes, we've been talking about this for like even from last AMA. I think a lot of people mentioning that, a lot of people requesting that, and the short answer is definitely yes. And it is the top things that we want to do for our creators. As we just mentioned, we are building our rewarding system. We do think as a team, we do think like GNT mobile friendly experience is super important, crucial for any creators on our platforms. On the other hand, what we see like the platforms right now is the trading volumes is a little bit not ideal for what we want it to be. So the idea is that we make the rewarding system first, so that attracting like making a fun gamification rewarding system that can track more tradings and more liquidities onto MOOAR. And when there are more attentions, that going to be like, that's the first most important things for our creators, right? If we create something, then there's a huge audience that can see the projects and wanting to buy the projects. That's the first thing we want to do for our creators. And then after this, when we go to the tool itself, definitely like GNT Mobile is the top on our priority list.
Makes a lot of sense. I think about the Ethereum blockchain and the major trading platforms that are there. Certainly Blur's model to compete with OpenSea was to build a compelling reward system, and that's what drove users to want to use that platform, list their NFTs there, drove up the liquidity, and made Blur a competitor in the market. Certainly, if we build a really robust reward system into Moor, that's got to drive users to want to come and do their trading on Moor. And then you kind of combine that together in your mind with Gas Hero and Gas Hero trading and everything else that's going on. It makes sense, kind of chicken and the egg. If you want to get everyone to list their NFTs on Moor to trade, giving them compelling reasons to list their NFTs there makes a lot of sense in the long run. And then when you look at Moor as a launch pad and where creators want to launch their collections, certainly they want to launch their collection where there's a lot of traders actively trading. So kind of fits all together. Makes a lot of sense and ties into our next audience question. This one's coming in from Cap Cosmos. Cap Cosmos asking, with the information on partnerships and collaborations, how do you think this positions the Moor platform and the broader NFT ecosystem? This is a good one, and there's multiple levels of depth to this question, right? When I think about what I just mentioned with building a reward system, driving liquidity, and getting users to want to come to a platform and interact daily, maybe in a gamified experience that you've kind of hinted at today. We also hinted at the idea of having best-in-class marketplaces in-app and website marketplaces like Steppen or like what we're building with Gas Hero and how we could go find these others. Certainly that ties into partnerships and collaborations we do on Rafflement. I would think that if you want to build out the Moor platform and you want to drive liquidity and have a lot of users and a lot of projects and a lot of trading and launching going on the platform, if you're going out and building partnerships with the biggest games, with the biggest collections in the ecosystem, and their NFTs are being traded on Moor, that's got to help build that whole system, right? If the number one game on Polygon launches and all the trading happens on Moor, wouldn't that drive a lot of people to Moor to trade that game and then potentially their other NFTs at the same time?
Yeah, totally agree. Definitely. I think collaborating with the top game projects and other top projects in the ecosystem is definitely going to drive long-term engagement for our platform.
For sure.
And I totally agree.
I've seen with other platforms where they will share liquidity, right? Or maybe an in-app marketplace, like the Steppen in-app marketplace, would have all its liquidity shown within the Steppen app, but then potentially shown on another platform at the same time. We chose not to do that with Steppen. We're probably thinking very differently about that with Gas Hero. Is that something that we're talking about in our partnership and collaboration meetings with these other projects? Ability to potentially help them build their in-app and website marketplace and share that liquidity to Moor? Is that a good way to drive volume?
Yes, definitely. Gas Hero will be like a first sample for that, and for our role as a platform or infrastructure. And in the future, we definitely want to collaborate with other projects, not only in terms of raffle, but also in terms of building like customized collection pages or customized marketplace for them. Because I think there are two folds. If we dive a little bit deeper, like one fold is that customize filters, customize searching kind of UI UX for GameFi projects. And second level is the experience that cross Web 2 and Web 3, right? Because a lot of GameFi projects actually has their NFT stake into the game and become sort of a Web 2 things that to make the game experience like level up the assets or minting NFTs or whatever. Those in-game mechanics is Web 2, whereas the trading part will be Web 3. So how do we like seamlessly merge the two parts of the experience? And I think that's the part that we did pretty good for Steppen, and we are currently doing that for Gas Hero. And in the future we can collaborate with other projects and do the service for other projects as well.
Very nice. Makes a lot of sense. I'm starting to kind of see this vision and roadmap build out live in real time. A couple more audience questions. We're coming up near the top of the hour. YDAO34 asks, do you think it would be good for Moor to work with specific templates to attract artists such as comic strip makers? In my opinion, it would create a huge asset on the market to merge AI and creative story makers in the same place. That's a really interesting question. Certainly, using AI to create art and to help create things like a comic book strip, right? A comic strip maker could absolutely use that in some way. But there's also that tension where, you certainly probably have those artists that are out there hand making comic strips, and maybe they would be offended by the idea of AI stepping in their space and being able to do that. Is that something that we have to battle constantly as we're building out these AI tools on Moore? Is like, if you're building a creator space and you're trying to court creators, then you're also building an AI tool that could potentially offend creators. How do you build these templates to attract artists and creators in at the same time trying not to offend them?
Yeah, I think first of all, AI is a great tool that really like extended our hand. In a way, it becomes human's assistant. Um,
Yeah.
It's replacing part of the creating works in a sense, but I wouldn't say it kind of replacing creators. It's more like an extended hand. Yeah, but go back to your question that how does it kind of offended the manual or traditional creators that doing like really handcraft arts? I think yes. I think it's not fair to like mixing artworks between AI artworks versus handcrafted artworks, and I think we are planning to kind of respect all the craftsmanship from the creators, and we will be labeling out the AI work. Kind of, we will build a system that be able to differentiate between handcrafted work versus AI artworks. But also, we don't want to discriminate the value of AI artwork. So we need to do a good balance between the two, but definitely differentiate the two.
It just seems like there's so many gray areas to me. I watch these creator spaces that Armandi and others have done, talking about Ferment and GNT and all those that have created these gas heroes for the design competitions, and certainly as I tune into other artists and seeing what they're doing, I think about Armandi's phrase of like embrace the tool, all the tools that are out there for artists to create digital art, right? And certainly AI is becoming a part of all of them, right? It's being built into Photoshop where you can just take little sections of an image and update them, and it feels like AI is increasingly being used by a large group of artists, even as like an idea generation, like as a way to play around and do things, and then they still kind of have to go in and tweak and update it and like handcraft a lot of it to make it better. So I think we're quickly coming upon a time where there's completely hand drawn art, there's complete AI art, and there's something in between that AI is used, but then the artist hand draws a lot of it, and so it's going to be hard to differentiate in some ways. I think did they use a tool to help make this or not? And it'll be interesting to see over time how that works out. But definitely attracting artists to the platform of Moore and giving them additional tools, ways to communicate with their community through creator space, ways to use GNT. Doing things like Wydal suggests with a comic strip maker, certainly a great idea. One we'll put on our list of ways that GNT could potentially be used. Last audience question. I think then we got our Finding Satoshi Zeely quest board password. This one's coming from Paradox Run. Could we have better resolution or better image details? I'm assuming built into GNT, where potentially you spend more credits, more of these GNT credits, and then maybe you can make larger GNT, larger resolution images as opposed to the default size that's fixed right now. Maybe even landscape versus portrait versus cube versus others. Is that something that you've thought about, the GNT and where it goes in future versions?
Yes, better resolution is definitely doable. And as you said, the price will be different because on the back end, all the load or the amount of effort is directly related to how many pixels are there in this image. So that means probably like a square relationship between the size, the image size versus how much of effort to generate that image. So yeah, definitely will cost more and definitely doable.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've seen into the back end of Moore, and I realized that creating these GNT images is not free. And
Yep.
creating our own AI model instead of just using another platform's API took a significant amount of time. And there's things like using our style selector that I don't even know that our community is fully aware that if you click on a style, one of those cards that's built into GNT, that doesn't just train it on what the base image looks like. Our devs also train based on the attributes that are in those collections. So if you use the keywords of those attributes, you're going to be able to see those attributes come out in the images, which is amazing the way that stuff's designed. And there's so much to it. And certainly the expense goes up for us when we want to try to make a 1080p image versus a smaller PFP type image that certainly has a lot fewer pixels. But definitely something that I could see GNT be used for in the future. I come from a content creator background, so the idea to even make like a YouTube thumbnail using GNT, I could see people wanting to make those images and then putting text over top, and lots of opportunities there. I think as you build out a creator platform for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice. Well, we got our Finding Satoshi Zile Questbird password. We're 5 minutes over already. The password this month is Halloween. That's all one word, all capitalized, HALLOWEEN, Halloween, all capitals, all one word. That's what you're going to want to put in onto the Finding Satoshi Zile quest board. We covered a lot of ground today, talked about all the stuff going on within the Moore system, gave a lot of hints about gamified reward systems, about potential rafflements that are coming in the next couple days, about rafflements that could be coming immediately following that, about all kinds of stuff that's being built into Moore and what we're most excited about, what's yet to come. Please give us your feedback. Let us know at the Discord server, on social media and DMs and the forums where we ask for feedback, what you think about the trading platform, what features that you would like for us to prioritize and bring to the trading platform first, what it is with GNT, what it is at the Discord server, what it is anywhere that you think is most important, because we're actively building out lists of months of development for our development partners to be able to build out, and you have to prioritize that stuff, right, Tenue? You got to say, okay, put this one on the back burner and do that in a few weeks and do this one first because this one's top of the list. And that's a big part of your job as project managers, kind of figuring out what the dev team does next, correct?
Yeah. And it's a big part of my job. Exactly.
Absolutely. Very cool. Well, we appreciate everybody being here. Congratulations to those that had their live Discord question answered. You got 100 GMT headed your way. Those that have retweeted or reposted and tuned in live, you've also got an opportunity to win 500 GMT. So make sure you follow those instructions and interact with the tweet. I don't know if that winner's been picked yet, but if not, look on our post on x.com. You'll be able to see that winner be pulled here soon. Good AMA. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you, everybody, for listening in. Thank you, Tenue. Thank you, Misha. Any last comments from either one of you?
Good morning to Misha and to James. Sun's coming up.
Yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Amazing MA.
Thank you. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Indeed. Everybody watch Discord. Watch the Moore official Twitter account. Watch the Steppen official account. Big announcements coming over the next few days. Things you're not going to want to miss. Things I know I want to be a part of. We'll see everybody again right back here next month for an AMA. And then we certainly have some workshops coming up on the following Fridays. And let us know what you think. We appreciate all the feedback. We'll see everybody soon. Bye.
See you next month.
Thank you, guys.